Rock. Stone. Rock. For rock and stone. For rock and stone. Deep Rock Galactic is one of those games that I've seen everywhere and seen a lot of content over on YouTube and Twitch, but I've never actually gotten around to playing it myself until I got recommended to play it through one of my YouTube comments. And I've tried it out, and immediately the art style was something that hooked me and made me enthralled in the entire universe of the game. Even whenever you first boot up the game, you're introduced to this hub world where there's a multitude of things to do. But moreover than this, it actually sets the tone of what the game is about. There's actually an area to kick barrels. I spent way more time there than I should have, and I'm also shit at it. Go kick the barrel? Which barrel? This one? Oh. You didn't see that. You didn't see that one either. Money. Nah. Oh, nope.
This is not happening.
Money. Oh. But there's also a Flappy Bird clone, which this time the developers didn't get harassed and death threats by making it. What is this?
And that's how you do it.
Alright, wait, hold on. High score's 31.
I'll beat my own record this time. Damn, I'm good.
The premise of Deep Rock Galactic is you work for a company called Deep Rock Galactic, and you're dwarfs, and you're space dwarfs to be more exact, and you go on these assignments and you work for this company and you mine ores for them, and you mine more precisely Morkite. So you go to this hub world, and they give you your first assignment, and you go into a cave through this pod that takes you down there into an asteroid that Deep Rock Galactic has claimed. So once you go into the cave, it's dark and it's scary, and you can't see shit besides the flares that you throw. Now, you get acquainted with this, right? And you're going through the cave, and you're looking for all these minerals and these mines and these ores, whatever you're assigned to do. And then you hear the guy on the speaker go, "Swarm incoming." Now, at this point, you start losing your shit because you don't know what's going on. And then what proceeds to happen is you get swarmed by about 30 or 40 bugs, like a Starship Troopers, except you're playing alcoholic dwarfs that are the same height as Tyler 1. And at the end of each mission, once you've completed the objective that they give you, you have to backtrack through the cave generally back to the escape pod and cover what is called a mule. Some of the dwarfs call it a molly, or just whatever. There's a lot of nicknames for it. But you guard it, you walk it back to the escape pod. Once it gets to the escape pod, you get in the pod, and it takes you back up to Deep Rock Galactic ship. Now, there is a time limit walking to the pod, which is around 5 minutes. So if you don't get back to the pod in that time, you will just leave and you will die. So you kind of have to worry about that. After you complete this tutorial mission, you're taken back to the hub world where you get your first assignment board. An assignment board is just a multitude of missions. Now, the first one you get is mainly just to introduce you to each type of mission that you can do in the game. And this is where you figure out which class you like. Now, there are 4 different classes. There's the gunner, the driller, the engineer, and the scout. Now, for the purpose of this video, because I don't want to make this an hour-long video, I'm just going to go over the basic set of weapons that they get, and I don't want to go too in-depth on the different weapons that you can get. Now, each class has a utility that comes with them that acts as kind of traversal tool that you can use to walk around the cave, go up and down an elevation, just tools that help you move around the cave. So the gunner, his traversal tool is a zipline. Ziplines are useful to get around the cave faster, but they're not my favorite. Now, the scout has the best traversal tool, if we're being honest. He has a grappling hook, which, if you've ever played games, grappling hook are always on top, and you just have to pick that one, but it is very cool. The driller has a drill. Driller is my favorite, specifically for this drill. I know that the grappling hook is cool, but to me, the drill is just more useful. If you ever have to get a crystal that's inside of a cave, you can drill to it much faster, and you can get through the cave just much quicker. And if you ever have to get the escape pod, you can just drill your way to it generally and don't have to backtrack all the way through the mission. The engineer has a platform gun, which is useful for aiding in your teammates, and I feel like the engineer is more of a support class as well as the scout, but I feel like the driller and the gunner are much more well off on their own if you're to do a solo mission. Now, that's not to say that the engineer and the scout can't be like on their own on a mission. They will do perfectly fine. I'm just saying that they feel like they were made to help the other teammates more than the gunner and the driller. Now, the weapons that they have. The gunner has a minigun and a heavy revolver. I love the animations in this game, and the inspect animations always like make me laugh.
Oh, this looks like the fucking... Looks like the hot dog, like Counter-Strike. You know what I'm talking about. It looks like the hot dog extra big animation. You this right now?
Drop pod inbound.
Oh
Stand
my
clear.
god. Oh my god. I just appreciate them very much. The minigun will eat through ammo, and you have to really be smart on who you want to waste your ammo on, because it takes about 100 rounds to even get this thing to be accurate if you have that add-on. And so you just gotta be precise with what you're doing. The heavy revolver is pretty cool. It has a really cool inspect animation where he like flips it around his hand. I love that. The driller has a flamethrower. He has a pretty good amount of ammo, and it's more of a spray and pray gun. You just kind of aim in the general direction of the enemy. You hold left click, and they're basically all gone. His secondary is a normal pistol that you can kind of quick fire to try and get quick little damage out, and it works pretty well. The scout has a plasma rifle that does a decent amount of damage, and his secondary is a sawed-off shotgun, which is awesome. The sawed-off shotgun is really good for getting in close and doing quick damage, and it's a lot of fun to use. Now the engineer. The engineer is kind of a tricky one because he has a shotgun, and then his ability is a sentry gun. And the sentry gun is pretty sick because it's like having another teammate, except it doesn't really miss. Now, on top of the game having 4 classes that feel incredibly unique to play, there's also a perk system which you can build around each class depending on what you're doing, or even if you're playing with teammates. So the builds here can go pretty in depth depending on what kind of playstyle you want to do, or if you're playing solo and in a group. And playing with the group is so much fun in this game. Not to mention that all the caves are procedurally generated for each mission, so they all have a unique feel to them, and there's a surprising amount of variety in terms of life forms and just overall cave structure, which I know that's like sounds surprising that there's a lot of cave structure, but I don't know how else to put that. There's a lot of cave structure. And there's a multitude of weapons that you can unlock, not to mention you can actually prestige your dwarf once you get them to level 25. Which gives you bonuses of its own kind. So there is a lot of content that is being put into this game, and it's always good to see devs that genuinely care about their fan base, and the sense of humor in this game is not like any other one that I've played. So overall, I had a very wonderful time playing this game. But I think that's all I really wanted to say for this video. Thank you for watching. I have an immense amount of joy from the amount of support that I got on the last video. So thank you guys so much, and please just keep it coming. But as always, love you one another, always treat each other with kindness, and thank you to the viewer who recommended me this game, because I had a blast playing it with my friends. But I'll see you guys next time. Have a good rest of your day.